there may have been ice on the roads, but there's more ice in these players' veins. While there were only 3 days of action, we saw a lot of it. A battle between the two heavyweights of the TVC Hawking, and the race to the top of the TVC Ohio gets more intense, with Megs turning some heads. Plus, we learned the real meaning behind its Poppin' and Pomeroy in this week's Beyond the Court. Stay tuned because Hardwood Heroes starts right now. What started as an exciting week was soon interrupted by Mother Nature, but we were not without the excitement. As the regular season comes to an end, the tournament time approaches. Let's take a look at the seeding for the girls' teams in the TVC, released last week by the OHSAA. We start in Division II, Region 7. Athens finds themselves at the 15th seed and will play winless Logan Elm in a playing game before the sectional finals. Megs is awarded the 8th seed and will play number 9 Circleville this Saturday. Benton County is the 4th seed and will host McLean. Finally, River Valley sits at 14 and will travel to Warren for the sectional finals. Moving down to Division III, Region 11, where all TVC teams play in the sectional semifinals. Wellston is the 28th seed and will travel to Adena. Federal Hawking finds themselves seeded 31 and will travel to Eastern Brown. Eastern is the 18th seed and will take on 15 Lynchburg Clay. Nelsonville-York is 14 and will host number 19 Northwest. Finally, the 11th seed Alexander Spartans will host South Point. And finally, Division IV, Region 12, we've got 16 Southern hosting 17 Clay. Winner of that game will take on the number 1 Trimble Tomcats in the sectional finals. 13-seeded Belpre will host 20-seeded Miller. Waterford is the 2nd seed, and they also have themselves a first-round bye. Finally, South Gallia is the 6th seed and will host 11th-seed Green next week in the sectional finals. And we start with a team who will be hosting their first tournament game, the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes. Carl Blalick joins us now to talk about their week.
Jack, NY's Mackenzie Hurd won our Hero of the Week last week. Let's see how she did this week. The Buckeyes were looking to grab momentum going into their tournament run, and they had a good tune-up game on Monday against the River Valley Raiders. And NY took the floor with double the wins the Raiders had and quickly showed why. Kaylee Dupler got the offensive board and put in the putback to get the first basket of the game. Defense turning into offense was big for the Buckeyes as an Olivia Spielman steal turned into an Avery Levy run-out basket. Runouts and ball movement were the name of the game for the NY Buckeyes as Hurd shows off here off of Brooklyn Richards' assist. Despite a slow 6 for 26 start shooting, NY heated up late in the first half, helped by 21 total turnovers by the Raiders. Even when River Valley couldn't make a basket, the Buckeyes would just run the court and get over the top and get the basket as NY took a 27-15 lead into the half. NY coach Bobby Cassidy made halftime adjustments and the Buckeyes came out rolling on all cylinders. Levy finished with 19 points and 7 rebounds, while Hurd once again led the team in points and assists with 20 and 8, including this basket as the Buckeyes take this one 68-32. With this win, the Lady Buckeyes kept their TVC title hopes alive ahead of a marquee matchup against Alexander. That is a game that we will talk about later in the show.
Now moving over to the boys, Carl, how did they do this week?
Nelsonville-York lost 4 straight games, including 2 this week against Wellston and River Valley. Their game Friday against Athens was canceled due to Winter Storm Landon. Part of the issue for the Buckeyes has been COVID absences. I've talked to Coach Blaine Gabriel Friday afternoon, and he was looking forward to having his full team for his practice the last few weeks to work on defensive schemes. The Buckeyes will hopefully be full strength for the first time this season at Tuesday's practice. This will bode well for the upcoming OHSAA tournament as Nelsonville-York hopes to end their losing streak before playoff time. The Buckeyes will get that chance on Wednesday as the game against Athens was rescheduled for that day.
Yeah, Carl, it'll be interesting to see how the Buckeyes can finish off this season. Thanks for the great work. And speaking of Athens, the Bulldogs did play earlier this week in an absolute thriller. We are now welcomed by Athens reporter Morgan Anderson to take us through the Bulldogs' spoiler-making efforts.
Jack, this was a game for the books. The Bulldogs were thought to be underdogs, but the night ended with Athens on top. With Athens sitting 5th in the Tri-Valley Conference and Megs at 3rd, most would say this matchup had its fate written in the stars, but an upset it was.
And now, Morgan, what made it possible for this TVC upset?
Jack, it was by far the Bulldogs' intensity. The tone was set when Nathan Shattuck met the net instantly with a killer 3 for the Dogs. However, the Marauders could only hang in the doghouse for the first half. We saw a shot-for-shot tie in the first quarter, but nothing else matched Athens' level of play. Even with Megs' defensive leader, Coulter Cleland, they could not shut down the Dogs. By the end of the third quarter, Megs was toast. They ended the third with a score of 43-28, leading to a final score of 61-46.
Wow, those Bulldogs really showed their ferocity. Who is the leader of the dog pack?
The man, the myth, the legend himself, Nathan Shattuck. The Bulldogs became a completely different team after break, especially him. His performance straight dogged on Megs. Shattuck put up 24 points against the Marauders, meeting 5 of his 8 three-pointers in the net. Jack, with Shattuck's monster stat line, I would argue he is a great contender for holding the title of our 2-time Hero of the Week.
Wow, those Bulldogs know how to step it up to the Goliaths of the TVC. Now, what's been happening with the girls' team?
More like what has not been happening with the girls' team. Due to inclement weather, the Bulldogs were cooped up in the doghouse this week after their loss against Vinton County. But looking ahead to next week, one of the team goals this season was to sweep games they'd split last season. In an attempt to continue this trend, the girls took the dub against River Valley next week. Next week, their final 2 games of the regular season are Megs and Wellston. With their team bond and drive, they have a chance to do some serious dusting and sweep both teams. The Bulldogs beat the Marauders 56-52 and the Golden Rockets 53-45 earlier this year. Both teams they split with last season, but now they have a chance to rewrite their unfinished story. Jack, from upsets to game delays, this past week on the Hardwood has been one to remember for the season, but these Dogs are ready to roll.
It'll be exciting to follow along. Thanks for the great work, Morgan. And you can stay up to date on as the Bulldogs and all the teams in the TVC close their season by following along on social media. You can catch all the game recaps on Facebook and Twitter. You can also find the best highlights of the game by going to our Instagram. And now you can find a never-before-seen look at the teams in our coverage by checking out our TikTok. And another team who has shown signs of improvement as we near the tournament is the Eastern Eagles. Zach Millersball joins us now to talk about what's left for the Eagles.
Well, Jack, the Eagles are into the home stretch of their season. The Eagles only have 1 win and will be looking to turn that around in the last week of their regular season. Eastern is coming off 2 tough losses, one of the first-place Tomcats where Eastern held a first-quarter lead and an 8-point loss to the Falcons. However, a cancellation against Belpre means the Eagles will have 5 days off before their game against Federal Hocking. From there, Eastern will play 3 games in 4 days heading into tourney time. The Eagles will look to rely on their defense and finish the last week of the regular season strong.
So we discussed the end of the boys' regular season. Now, how are the girls looking heading into the tournament?
Well, Jack, Eastern showed necessary signs of fight in their game against Federal Hocking as they move into a tough ending to their regular season. The Eastern Eagles started out hot, scoring the first 8 points. All of them were racked up by Sydney Reynolds, who couldn't miss at the start.
Now, were the Eagles able to maintain their explosive start?
Unfortunately, Jack, Eastern wasn't able to ride the wave for very long as Federal Hocking countered with a 13-point run later in the quarter, turning a 17-6 deficit into a 19-17 lead. The crowd was serenaded with whistles as the teams combined for 22 fouls in the first half and tallied another 15 in the second. The Eagles were able to break through the noise, though, as they went into the locker rooms with a 32-30 lead. The fireworks show ended as both teams picked up their defense. I'll cover Eastern's more in a second. It came down to free throws for both teams, and they just didn't fall for the Lancers as Eastern won 51-48. Now I want to dive a bit deeper into the Eagles' second half defense. Right out of the gate, Eastern went into a zone for the second time to try to slow the Lancers down. The main component of the Eagles' zone defense is their ball pressure. As you can see here, every pass leads to a quick closeout, causing an eventual deflection by Reynolds. The Eagles are also very well trained in getting their hands up to contest each shot. Even off an offensive rebound, Eastern was able to get in position to effect the shot. Fed Hoc did find some success, however, as they were able to take advantage of the most vulnerable part of the zone, right in the middle. After getting it into the paint, the defense collapses, leading to a pass out to an open player who drives the ball in and forces help from the weak side. This leaves a wide-open Kendall Snedden for the layup. The Lancers also found success driving straight through the zone on a few plays. This allowed them to get to the bucket with ease. Here, you'll see Brenna Jarvis able to beat her defender off the dribble, and Eastern wasn't able to help fast enough. The Eagles won this game by a mere 3 points, and only allowing 18 second-half points played a huge part in this. The girls will look to maintain this second-half defense and do damage throughout the rest of the season and into the playoffs.
Thanks for the great work, Zach. And now 63% of our fans made the right call for this one, but the game was a lot closer than they may have expected. Hurry over to our Instagram right now and make your picks for who you think is going to win. It's the last chance to make your voices heard for the regular season, so make your picks now. And now the Lady Lancers were scheduled to play 2 more games this week, but both were postponed due to weather implications. To tell us more, we welcome Federal Hawking reporter Peyton Brooker to the show.
Jack, the Waterford and Belpre games were postponed due to the weather. With these games and the upcoming tournament, the Lancers have a tough road ahead of them. The Lady Lancers over the course of the season have gradually improved their play. Players such as freshman leader Larissa McDaniel has stepped up to the court in key moments. McDaniel has broken out as a star player, and with many years ahead, she'll definitely be a player to watch out for. Another player to keep an eye on for the games is Regan Jeffers. Regan is head coach Amos Cottrell is quoted as the most consistent player on both ends of the court. As for the team themselves, they have a daunting ahead of including the sectional matchup against Eastern, who are the 7th ranked team in the state. However, most of these are winnable games as Miller, Belpre, and Wahama have all struggled through the season.
As for the boys on Tuesday, Peyton, they did play against Waterford, and they looked to be even on paper. How did that game turn out?
Well, they had a tough road ahead of them in the TVC because they had to play the TVC Hawking against Trimble. The energy of the crowd at Waterford was tense on Tuesday night. In the first half, Waterford senior Holden Daly muscles up for the rebound and puts it in for 2. As for the Lancers, Andre Cottrell dishes the pass to Lane Smith, who almost dunks the ball in. Crockwell's ball distribution would be key for the Lancers' offense, as only as his 3rd game of the season. Moving on to the second quarter, Grant McCutcheon passes to Gabe Podchek, who cashes it in for 3. Federal Hawking would end up in the first half only up 26-24. In the second half, the Lancers brought the aggression, and Andrew Earhart drops this 3 to keep the Wildcats sweating. Federal Hawking's up-tempo in the second half would prove to be too much for the Wildcats to handle. With that, the Lancers would go on to win 67-57, winning the 11-game win streak going into the final stretch of the regular season. With the 4 games left in the regular season, the Lancers will have to stay focused. If Federal Hawking wins against the Eastern Eagles next week, they'll have the opportunity to either win against Federal Hawking outright or share the conference title against a 2-game series against the Trimble Tomcats. However, that second game will not be played until after both teams are eliminated from the tournament, setting the stage for a late-season championship matchup. Both of the boys and the girls next week will have to play for the best games against the success throughout the coming weeks.
Yeah, thank you for the great work, Peyton. And now, do you want to see the best snapshots of the game? Then head over to our Facebook page. We've got albums of the best photos from the best games in the TVC. And not just the action on the court. We give an exclusive look on the sideline and even in the locker room. Every shot, every spot for every team. Head on over to our Facebook and check out the photo gallery. As this season of Hardwood Heroes reaches the midway point, our journey beyond the court is still going strong. We welcome back the host of Beyond the Court, Curtis Fader, to enlighten us on this segment's next stop. Curtis, where are we heading this week, and what's the scoop, man?
Thanks, Jack. Now this week, our journey beyond the court takes us to Pomeroy, home of the Megs Marauders. This place has developed a phrase you have all heard several times, poppin' in Pomeroy. But what exactly does that mean? I spent this week investigating that meaning and what makes the Marauders' home floor one of the most electric atmospheres in the Southeast Ohio region. The Sixth Man, a title normally given to a player, but what if I told you that that title belonged to a collective, an atmosphere, an entity? The home court of the Megs Marauders has been known to be one of the most exciting atmospheres in the TVC, and that status hasn't changed. The team has reaped the benefits of the crowd by having the best home record in the TVC Ohio, almost as if they played 10% better on their home floor. But what is it about Pomeroy that makes it so special? I decided to find out by heading to the belly of the beast, the Meg student section.
What is your name?
Samuel,
What is your year?
2024.
Now, according to sources, you are D1. Please elaborate.
Well, I'm not D1.
Yes, you are, Sam. Don't lie. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's humble. He's very humble.
Well, maybe D1 in baseball.
Yeah!
All right. Can you use this as a baseball bat?
Hey, what do they call you, Sam? Show 'em your stance. Get up and show 'em your stance. Get up and show 'em your stance, Sam. Come on. Sam, get up. Sam, Sam for a reason.
There you have it, folks.
Is the student section really the key to making it poppin' in Pomeroy? Or is it something else? Is it the band? The cheerleaders? Perhaps the cool festivities they hold at halftime? Or maybe it's the combination of all of those, with each component necessary to provide an experience unlike any other. Maybe it's the will of Megs as a whole to make a squad of 5 Marauders feel like there's 6.
Coaches and players of both the boys and girls teams have all said that their home atmosphere provided a tremendous advantage for them on the court, and those who've all been there can all state that it is indeed poppin' in Pomeroy. Now, in my first season on the show in 2020, the fans of Megs promised to make me a fathead by the final season, and now that it is my last season on the show, I'm holding you all to that promise. But with all that being said, let's get back to the X's and O's with Jack on the desk.
Thank you, Curtis. And now to take us through the Marauders' journey on the court, we welcome Meg's lead reporter, Aiden Crowley.
Jack, Alexander came into this matchup controlling their own destiny with the title well within grasps. But the Spartans might have been got caught looking ahead because it was all Megs in this one. It was a physical game, but that's exactly where the Marauders thrive. Megs likes to win ugly by making you uncomfortable on offense, leading to turnovers and points on the other end.
And now, Aiden, I heard that Alexander was without a key contributor for most of that contest.
You're right, Jack. Midway through the second quarter, Cara Meeks picked up a technical foul that resulted in her missing a majority of this game. It was clear that the Spartans were a completely different team without Meeks on the court. She is not only a key scorer, but a vital presence on the glass and on defense.
And it sounds like Megs took advantage of that lockdown defender being on the bench for most of the game.
You're absolutely right, Jack. This Marauder ball club is extremely unselfish and constantly looking for the open player. Every time communication broke down for Alexander, Megs jumped on the opportunity and generated a lot of good looks. This helped them to control a lead throughout and coast to a crucial 65-55 victory. Now, obviously, Jack, Alexander came in with major title aspirations, but the Marauders got to play a little spoiler after their gutsy performance.
Yeah, Aiden, it sounds like the road ahead will be a lot tougher for the Spartans. And to give us more information on Alexander's title journey, we welcome in Alexander reporter Cameron Young.
Jack, the loss against Megs was substantial for the Lady Spartans. In order for Alexander to stay alive in the TVC Ohio title race, they needed to take down Nelsonville-York on Saturday. It proved to be a bounce-back game for Alexander when they welcomed the Buckeyes into the alley. From tip-off, Alexander gained control of this game as disruptive defense stifled Mackenzie Hurd and the Buckeye offense early. With heavy scoring volume from Cara Meeks in the first half, the Spartans were able to take an 11-point lead into the halftime locker room. They were able to create 8 steals in the first half and only hold the Buckeyes to 15 first-half points. In the second half, the Spartans were able to hold on to their lead for a large part of the half. Cara Meeks contributed to this by half-scoring by hitting 2 big threes to add to the Spartans' lead. After another hard-fought half, the Spartans were able to hold off the Buckeyes to take this game 46-33. The Spartans finished this game with 11 team steals as Marley Grinstead contributed 5 of her own. With the win, the Spartans advanced their TVC Ohio record to 9-2 to take sole possession of second place in the conference. With only 1 game left in the season, the Lady Spartans still have a shot for a share of the TVC Ohio title, but they'll have to beat Vinton County in the alley on Wednesday night.
Now, transitioning over to the boys, they also had a game against Megs this week, which had a lot riding on it.
That's right, Jack, and it would have been a crucial game for both teams' TVC title hopes.
But unfortunately, this showdown between the Spartans and the Marauders was postponed due to inclement weather.
But Jack, this matchup is shaping up to be one of the biggest games in the TVC Ohio this season.
Alexander will look to repeat history on Saturday after they beat Megs 67-56 back on December 17th.
If Megs wants revenge, they have to shut down Spartan guard Kyler DiAgostino.
DiAgostino has been lighting up teams that have tried to guard him in isolation all year, but I'm looking to see if the Spartans can stop Megs star Coulter Cleland.
Cleland does it all for the Marauders, willing his team to key victories down the stretch. You better have your popcorn ready when these two stars are trading buckets. But Cleveland and the rest of the Marauders are going to have to come up big late if they want the TVC Ohio crown. After their loss to Athens that we learned about earlier in the show, the path becomes a lot more challenging. With 3 in-conference losses, Megs realistically needs to win out, including wins over Alexander and Vinton County. VC has to drop one more against either Alexander or Wellston for a potential 3-way tie.
And that isn't the only big game the Spartans have to close their season.
That's true, Jack. The Spartans have another big conference matchup against Vinton County.
And to help us preview the crucial matchup, we welcome Bryce Tinson to the show.
Jack, Vinton County is sitting in the driver's seat headed into this one, and they look to clinch that top spot this week.
For the Spartans, they'll be looking to repeat the first result in this one after they've defeated the Vikings 52-50 on January 7th.
Vinton County is going to be tough to beat. They only give up 48.5 points per game within the conference with their quick hands and anticipation.
The Spartans have been playing their best defense of the year as of late, and they will look to keep the high-powered offense of the Vikings off balance.
But if that high-powered VC offense is hitting, then watch out because it'll be lights out for the Alexander title chances.
For a guaranteed share of the TVC Ohio title, Alexander has to win out in conference. If they beat Vinton County on Tuesday night, they'll get a chance to compete for a share of the title against their rival Athens, who is one of their 2 losses in the TVC Ohio this year. However, if the Spartans want the title outright, they're going to need Vinton County to lose one more game in conference.
The path to the title is simple for the Vikings. Win. They already hold the #1 spot in the conference with only 1 conference loss. It's not going to be easy though. They have a tough back-to-back against Megs and Alexander. They also have to go to Wellston, a team they beat by just 2 points when they last played. That River Valley makeup game is still yet to be announced.
Now, are the boys the only potential TVC Ohio title game this week?
Actually, Jack, these 2 schools also have the opportunity to play for a girls' TVC Ohio championship as well.
The case is the same for the Viking girls. They just need to win their last 2 games against River Valley and, of course, the Spartans to be the conference champs.
As for the Lady Spartans, they only need to win this game for a share of the title. But if they want to win the title outright, they're going to need help from River Valley.
VC will look to capture that same energy that got them the 51-35 win the first time around.
If Alexander wants to cap their season with at least a share of the title, they're going to need to shoot much more efficiently this time around.
The Vikings are hot as hot could be, having won 8 straight conference games. If you want to win a championship, this is not the team you want to see.
Now, it sounds like we are in for an exciting game between these 2 schools. We will have to keep our eyes out for both these matchups. Thanks for the great work, guys. Before we cover our final team, let's take a quick look at the boys' standings. The boys of the TVC Ohio saw no changes in their standings as Vinton County still holds that #1 spot. Alexander keeps their TVC chances alive at the 2 spot with Megs at 3. Wellston, Athens, and River Valley are the 4, 5, and 6, and Nelsonville-York closes the standings at 7. Passing it to the boys of the Hawking, those standings also saw no changes, as Trimble and Federal Hawking are in a heated race for the top spot, with the Tomcats at the 1 and the Lancers at the 2. Waterford sits at 3, with South Gallia at 4. Belpre and Eastern are at the 5 and the 6. And finally, closing out the standings for the boys of the Hawking, it's Southern at that 7th spot. And to take us through the week of the most dominant team in our coverage, we welcome Trimble reporter Cameron Nutt.
Jack, despite being a non-conference game, Tomcat fans had this one circled on their calendar. Trimble welcomed Alexander on Saturday, giving us one of the most anticipated individual matchups of the year, Blake Guffey versus Kyler DiAgostino. The Tomcats came out on fire. They immediately went on a 16-4 run to begin the first quarter. A huge part of their success was Blake Guffey. He was able to catch the ball in the post and go to work. By the end of the first half, Guffey had 17 points. On the other hand, DiAgostino got off to a rough start. He didn't score his first bucket until there were 2 minutes left in the first quarter, and he finished the half with just 6 points. This was largely due to the defensive efforts of Tyler Weber and Tucker Dixon. They were able to force DiAgostino to take tough shots, making it hard for him to get anything going. The Tomcats didn't look back in the second half. Guffey continued to do his thing on offense, and Austin Weiser turned in an impressive performance himself, finishing his night with 23 points en route to a 77-59 Trimble victory. As you can see, Blake Guffey put on a show. He finished the night just 5 assists shy of a triple-double, going off for 33 points, 5 assists, and 12 rebounds. DiAgostino finished his night with 22 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds, although the majority of those points were scored when the game was out of reach. It's safe to say that Guffey proved why he is the best player in the TVC hockey.
And now let's switch things over to the girls' side of things. I know they had a chance to win the TVC Hawking outright.
Yeah, Jack, all they needed was a win against state-ranked Waterford, but this just wasn't their night. This one was all Waterford from the opening tip to the final buzzer. The Wildcats were able to force 12 Trimble turnovers in the first half alone, helping them along to a 12-1 run to begin the first quarter. By the end of the night, Waterford had forced 17 turnovers. Further hindering the Tomcats' chances was their shooting performance. Trimble collectively shot 13 of 32 from the field, and Waterford took a 37-22 lead into the locker room. Waterford didn't look back in the second half. Leading the way offensively for the Wildcats was Cara Taylor. She finished her night with 17 points en route to a 59-37 victory for Waterford. Despite the loss, the Tomcats have earned their #1 seed in the district. I talked to head coach Joe Richards about what the top seed means for his team moving forward.
4 very competitive games left, and then we'll start getting ready for the sectional. At least we get to have a home game. We're pretty pumped up about that to host the sectional. But we like where we got drawn. We #1 seed. I can't remember the last time we got a #1 seed. I know we haven't since I've been here, so hopefully that'll help us. And once you get tournament time, it's everybody has the same record. So we're going to go every day at practice and prepare for that.
Jack, these Lady Tomcats are poised to make a deep tournament run.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see what the Tomcats can stir up come tournament time. Thanks for the great work, Cam. And now let's take a look at our girls' standings in the TVC. Tipping it off with the girls in the Hawking, we saw no changes as Trimble and Waterford still hold the top 2 spots, seeking shares of the title. South Gallia is 3rd, and Eastern is sitting at the 4th spot. And wrap up the standings, we have Belpre, Federal Hawking, and Southern at 5, 6, and 7. And now turning the ball over to the girls of the TVC Ohio, Vinton County jumps Alexander for that 1 spot, putting the Spartans at 2. Nelsonville-York is at 3, with Meg still at that 4 spot. The Bulldogs are behind the Marauders at 5, with River Valley taking up the 6th spot. Wellston wraps up the standings, looking for their first conference win at the 7th spot. After an incredible week of both twists and turns, it's time to announce our highly anticipated picks for Hero of the Week. To tell us the girls' Hero of the Week, we welcome back to the show Curtis.
Thanks, Jack. Now let me reintroduce to our viewers the Megs legend, the homecoming queen, the ginger juggernaut, patent pending, Mallory Hawley as this week's Lady Hero of the Week. Hawley has never shied away from the biggest moments, and this week proved critical for the Lady Marauders against the Alexander Spartans. Hawley balled out in front of her home fans on her senior night by posting a 21-point, 10-rebound double-double. Hawley became a bulldozer in the paint as she did not shy away from drawing contact and getting herself to the line. Scoring was not her only area of expertise where she made the Spartans hurt either. Hawley was also an expert at finding the open gal as she totaled 6 assists, showing off her excellent court vision, and put the clamps on fellow hero hopeful Marley Grinstead by snagging 4 steals as well. Hawley is the glue that keeps this team together, and how far these Lady Marauders go rests on her heroic shoulders. Now, we have witnessed a valiant hero battle it out in a great duel against a good opponent, and I hear that the boys' hero did the same.
Curtis, I'm glad you mentioned it. In one of the biggest individual matchups of the week, this man was an absolute beast. Blake Guffey was a grown man on a mission on the floor. Despite being a non-conference game, Guffey was matched up against Kyler DiAgostino and did not shy from the competition. Guffey was a monster in the paint. Check this out. He gets his own rebound and puts it right back up and in for the and one. But the best play of the game came on the defensive side and was brought to us by the man himself. In LeBron-like fashion, Guffey runs the length of the floor and delivers us his own chase down block on DiAgostino. And when it comes to arguing for Hero of the Week, his stats speak for themselves, Curtis. A double-double of 32 points and 12 rebounds, along with 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 excellent chase down block. Guffey, against a premier player in the TVC, leaves no doubt for Hero of the Week.
Well, that just shows a couple of brilliant performances against the mighty Spartans for our heroes this week, Jack.
Yeah, that's right, Curtis. And these all-time performances are only going to get more intense. And we are nearing the end of the regular season, and all eyes are directed to the tournament. Be sure to follow along on all social media platforms, and be sure to tune in to WOUB Sunday nights at 11 and Monday nights at 6. Once again, from all of us at Hardwood Heroes, we're reminding you to be heroic.